I haven't spoken with Caitlin. Andy did send me a text message after she found out. It kind of echoed the tweet that she sent out. Very short, but yeah, it was a very gracious text. I really don't. I mean, I'm very thankful that Andy and Caitlin made the decisions that they did. And while they're in their own right great women, I realized getting out of those relationships that they weren't right for me. I don't feel like unlucky in love or anything like that. I've certainly had a very interesting life when it comes to my dating life, but I'm not nervous about, you know, like, you can get brokenhearted at any time. You know, that could be 5 years from now. It's just more, will I find that person, you know? But I am confident that if that right person is there, that it'll all work out. The biggest thing I've learned about this process is that there's things you should focus on and things that you should not waste a lot of energy on. And I know that's kind of vague, but it's a very intense atmosphere and it can bring up a lot of emotions. And I think it's very important to kind of stay focused and focus on the things that matter and not stress about the things that ultimately really don't make a difference. That'd probably be my biggest advice to the women when they show up, is to keep your eye on like what matters most, whatever that is, because you can waste a lot of energy worrying about things that don't matter. The TV part I didn't really focus too much on. You know, I think initially you might feel feelings of embarrassment, but overall, I never really worried about that. It was really about the actual relationship, and you know, I focused on moving on just like I would any other relationship. And once I moved on, I moved on. It's a weird feeling to watch yourself be emotionally vulnerable. It's very meta, you know, it's like weird. So if I ever watch those moments back, which I don't really make a habit of, like it still gets to you because you go back to that place. You may have moved on, or I may have moved on, but it still reminds you of a time that wasn't fun. So yeah, I don't make a habit of that. Yeah. I don't know if it's a yes or no answer. My regret has always been that as a result of me, you know, saying that, Andy unfairly got a lot of criticism that she didn't deserve, and so I always regretted that. On the flip side, obviously it brings up a lot of discussions, and it kind of brings up the reality of kind of the situation, and it's kind of changed the show going forward. So it happened so long ago, so if nothing else, it's like it's something that people keep bringing up, which is kind of like, I mean, I get it, but while it's not my favorite book, and it has plenty of inaccuracies, and he has a tendency of omitting information, I also can't say it's fictional, right? As far as I was concerned, the events that she talked about, those happened now. There's always two sides to every story, and certainly information can be left out, and I don't necessarily agree with all of it. But when someone else is calling it fictional, like, you know, I was basically forced to say, well, it's not.